The year 2020, boy, I'll tell you what, it can be defined in so many ways. And, yeah, you've already rolled your eyes already. I know, I am too. No, I roll my eyes at it too. This year, I don't know how the world, the Rona, the election, the junk, the everything. But when you zero it into the sprint car world, you can sum it up in one person.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson. And who saw that coming?
Nobody.
I
don't think Kyle.
No, I don't think Kyle saw it coming. What a journey this young man has been on. It's been fascinating and fun to follow, messy at times. Fun to follow. Apparently has a very happy ending. We all love that. A lot of fun during the season. Getting sprayed with champagne.
Watching him do what he does.
The skill set that he showed. The ability to have the car, whether he gets tagged by somebody or crosses it up and runs down through the infield and recovers quicker. I mean, just unreal what he does. The way he can make momentum in a race car and how he would go from the littlest bull ring to the Speed Palace and be able to get success in that car.
Or in a late model,
Or in a late model or a Silver Crown car. Or by the way, he is the Chili Bowl champion this year, too.
Yeah.
Let's not, that seems like 27 years ago, but by the way, he won the Chili Bowl this year. So what a season, what a year in his life it has been, and as a race car driver. So we're going to talk to Kyle. And Kyle has been, I've shared this story before with Wing Nation. And one time, a couple of years ago, he won the Trophy Cup race. This little kid from California. And I think Kendra and I were doing the show, and when we brought him on, we kind of snickered because it's like we're talking to this child. And we actually played that back one time for Kyle, the opening of it. And so he has been such a good friend to Wing Nation through the climb, through his NASCAR time. We've done shows up at his shop when he had the shop up there. And then this year he has been especially gracious with us, knowing that all is going on and he's always chatted with us. So we're going to talk with Kyle, sprint cars. I don't know necessarily that this is that big life conversation, but the opportunity he has ahead of him, how they all factor together, what he's got coming up in the next couple of weeks because it's not done yet. Sprint Car 2020 has been Kyle Larson. And before we wrap it up, and next week's our last show, we want to make sure we get at least one more visit in with Kyle. So that's what we're going to do today.
I'm excited about it.
I am too. This is really cool. Now, I'm going to qualify this just a little bit because he's racing this week at Millbridge, and he may actually have another win by the time you hear this from when we're recording this because, well, that's what Kyle does. So I'll qualify this to say we're recording this before the big Millbridge festivities. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to Kyle Larson. And Kyle is a product of California Sprint Car Racing in California, where they have some great 360 racing at places like Marysville Speedway, the Paul Haas Memorial. Nick Larson was the leader, and when you race in Northern California, you're going to have to deal with Forsberg. Nick had to deal with him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out well for Nick. Fourth win of the season for Forsberg, who is the track champion at Marysville. Here is Troy Hennig with the call on Flow Racing.
And now for the Defying Defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Forsberg back to the inside. Larson sees him, and Andy Forsberg takes the lead. Mr. Excitement.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Def, the official def of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are Team Dryden. car isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Wing Nation, presented by, I don't even know that I said this. This is, if you're, well, I would hope that you know what you're checking out here. It's Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing, and by Hercules Tires. One of the things we love to talk about is our friends at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. And we do it with a birthday calendar. Yesterday, Alan Brown, Don Smith, Kenny Weld. Later this week, J.W. Hunt. But today would have been the birthday, and let's see, doing a little math, would have been the 125th birthday of Hiram Hilgis, okay?
Wow.
A sprint car inductee in 1997. He was born in 1895, passed away in 1960. A legendary builder of sprint cars in the 40s and 50s. Now, this guy, he was a sheet metal fabricator for the Mack Manufacturing Company and then for Carrier up in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Okay? He developed, though, when it came to sprint cars, he started building sprint cars. He built some like in 1909, but like in the 40s, after the war, he really started to get into it. And one of the things he used that fabrication skill, standardization of parts, because this was during the midget craze, when everyone wanted a midget car. Well, if you custom made everything, it would take forever.
Yeah.
And so he standardized the parts. He moved to Allentown, Pennsylvania in the 40s, and his shop was the mecca of motorsports on the eastern side of the country. And he was standardizing a lot of the parts. And so you could meet the demand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the 50s, he developed a tube frame for the sprint cars. Okay. Tommy Hintershins was probably one of the most famous, but a lot of other drivers raced him. And the reason the cars were so good, but the durability of them too, they lasted forever. So when you think about repeatability of product and durability, those are all things that a machinist or someone like that knows. And he introduced a lot of that to the sprint car world.
Interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And his story and all other stories like that are on display over at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, right off from turn number 2. And they've got a lot coming up. Okay. First and foremost, you can go to sprintcarstuff.com. Sprint Car Stuff, get your holiday shopping done there. Okay. And then sprintcarraffle.com, Erin.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice EMI chassis, Speedway Motors. And it's a race-ready 410. And if I win, Postman's my driver. So tickets are $20 each or 6 for $100. And the drawing is December 18th. So
yes, indeed.
Creeping up on it.
So I want all of you to enter this, but I want Erin to win.
Yes.
Because at 56 years old, I want to start my sprint car career.
Here we go.
I want to start my sprint car career at 56 years old. So I still want to start my career then.
All right. Well, even if this doesn't work out, maybe we can still, we've got a sprint car or two laying around still. I think we should make this happen.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you saw my prowess in driving the mule.
Well, at least I won't have to be
HRP.
a passenger in this
operation.
operation.
We need a two-seater.
Yeah,
no, because someone's got to hold the phone to document this. So you got to be in the two-seater.
Absolutely not.
Oh, my God.
Unless I'm behind the wheel. And then I'll give you a ride.
Well, I don't know about that either. I would feel safe, but I would be scared that the weight on the rear end of the car would set the balance off. Just something brutally for it.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like we may have a deal here, though. We might have to work on this.
All right.
Good stuff. That's for sure.
Wing Nation Racing Team.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
The Wing Nation Racing Team. There you have it. All right. So let's settle back down here and get me out of the behind the wheel of the sprint car and get a guy who we know can wheel a car.
A little qualified.
Yeah, a little bit more qualified than I am. He joins us on the Sage Fruit Hotline. Kyle Larson is on the line. Hello, Kyle. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, how are you guys?
We are doing well. Kyle, how do you describe what you've been through in the last 10 months or 11 months, even going back to winning the Chili Bowl this year? You have got a made-for-Hollywood movie that you've done this year.
Yeah, it's definitely been a memorable year for many reasons. But no, it's been good. Dating back, probably a year ago at this point. once the NASCAR season got done and I started my off-season dirt racing, we had a really, really good off-season and won a bunch of midget races. And then, that kind of, we got the NASCAR season started and was started off the season good. And then everything, happened with coronavirus and then my deal, and then went full-time dirt guy. And the year's gone way better than I ever thought it would. So it's been something, but no, it's been good and definitely a year I'll never forget, and definitely a year that I think's helped shape me.
Kyle, when you look at the season and you have 40-plus wins as of right now, a few more races to go, as it was happening, as you were winning these races, were you really grasping what you were doing, or was it like a typical racer where it's on to the next? Because what you were doing for us fans was amazing to watch. But I know as a racer, sometimes you're just worried about the next race. You move on. You don't really think about what you've done or enjoyed the moment as it's happened.
Yeah. I think, when, so I raced so much in like June and July, some, quite a bit in August too. And I think when you're racing that much, you don't really like pay attention to, when you're winning, you don't pay attention to the numbers adding up. But yeah, I mean, here lately, since things have slowed down and I've, looked, I'm like, man, 42, I got 42 wins right now. That's crazy. And yeah, I still have, I think about 12 more or so. So yeah, it's definitely, I didn't notice it at all, while I was, kind of in the middle of it. Cause you just, you race and you're racing again the next night. So you're just looking ahead to that. But, no, it's definitely been a great year and I hope we can get a lot more.
Kyle, we know your passion for midget car racing, and we know your passion for wing sprint car racing. A couple of these wins that you had this year were in different vehicles. Silver Crown is maybe in the same category as well, but taking the opportunity to run the Silver Crown car and taking the opportunity to run dirt late models, just the joy that brought you to have a chance to do something and something totally different like that.
Yeah, I've always had a lot of fun racing other types of race cars besides, a stock car or a sprint car, or even a midget, because those are, been the three main types of cars I've run. So I've always enjoyed being able to get in, hop into other stuff that I'm not fully comfortable with. And I feel like, that's kind of what I'm known for or what I want to be known for is just being a very, versatile driver who could, hop into anything and, have a shot to win. So yeah, this year's been, great because I have gotten to run, a lot of sprint car stuff and, some midget stuff, and then also sprinkling a couple of Silver Crown races and then the late model stuff and, winning both. So it's been, like I said, that's what I enjoy as a race car driver is just, getting into situations and cars that you're not fully comfortable with.
And doing a fantastic job when you do. Kyle, I had the chance to catch up with Caitlin briefly about a month ago, and one of the things that she talked about was the amount of time you got to spend as a family this year. Different being you're driving the motorhome, you had the kids with you a lot. Talk about that part of it. Talk about when you go back to more of our roots of sprint car racing, that quality time you got to spend with your family.
Yeah, for sure. That's been probably the highlight of the year, really, is just you getting to do things, race a lot. I've always raced a lot, but I'm racing differently now. I'm driving up and down the road with our, kids and Caitlin in the motorhome and logging a bunch of hours. And, I've never done that before. When I've raced NASCAR and I go to race a sprint car, I'm usually just flying there by myself on, a commercial flight or something and just in and out. But, this year I've been able to, log the miles and just spend a lot of quality time with them and have a lot of fun. And then, too, just having success and getting to, celebrate with the kids in Victory Lane and have Caitlin do her shotgun stuff has been, it's been fun. I think the fans have been able to see too, how much fun we've all been having as a family. And they can see that and appreciate that. So it's just been a blast this year. And, our kids are both young and, they weren't, Owen's now started kindergarten. So, he's not able to go to as many races. So it was good to take advantage of that time when he's not, really full time in school and get to have them on the road and then too get him racing this year and building memories and starting his racing career.
How is his racing career going?
He's good. He's doing an awesome job I think he's still probably only got under 10 races under his belt, and gets better and better each time. We went to California last weekend and got to race at Red Bluff, which is where I ran my first ever race at Red Bluff in Outlaw Kart. So in a beginner box. So it was awesome to get to take him out there and get him his first start there, and he's already way better than I ever was at Red Bluff in a box stock. So he did awesome. He qualified well, passed the car the first heat race on the first night, finished second. Then the final night he was really good. He started fifth in his qualifier and won that. Then they had like a Chili Bowl style kind of pole shuffle thing, and he advanced to that and won and started on the pole of the main. So I was like, dang, he could win his first ever race here. And then the main event, he got a little excited. They actually, so in California go-kart racing, they race back to the yellow, which is different than in any racing.
Wow. Yeah.
So I tried to beat that in his head, like, hey, you got to race back to the yellow. And he was leading, and yellow came out, and he lifted and got past. And then from then on, he was like, you could tell he was in desperation mode and started driving over his head and making mistakes and running into other cars and kids, and then actually ended up tipping over. So he had his first flip, but no, he had a blast out there, and it was fun to get him to go out there and make new friends and do a good job racing.
I have a hunch here that your mom and dad probably did not enjoy that at all, watching him. I can't imagine. I can't imagine your mom and dad's passion, what that must have been like to watch Owen race.
Oh, they were. I think everybody was blown away with how good he was and did. I had so many people come up to me like, "How old is he? How many races has he run?" And they were surprised. And I said he's only 5 and has run under 10 races. And so yeah, my parents were the same way. And my mom, everybody I think who knows my mom, she's always got a camera around her neck and taking pictures and videotaping. So they just got out to North Carolina the other day, and she's already converted everything over to DVDs. So we've been watching her tapes and stuff. And the grandparents, they had a lot of fun. My parents were there. Caitlin's parents were there. It was a 3-day event. Wow. So Caitlin's parents brought their motorhome and got to camp out and hang out with our friends and cook out. So it was just a really fun weekend.
That sounds like a blast. Now, I know that he's your son, but if you're saying he's better than you were at this, you're going to have contracts coming in pretty soon. So, Kyle, what are you like as a race dad? How are you when he's on the track? Are you real nervous when you communicate with him? Are you easy on him? Like, how are you as a race dad?
I don't get nervous watching him at all. I have a lot of, it's so funny, me, I feel like I spend most of the races I watch just laughing, just because, the kids are just funny to watch. Not only are they funny to watch, but you have to smile and appreciate how young they are and how smart they are behind the wheel, at such a young age. So, it's cool. And then, at Red Bluff, he started driving over his head and running into people. I started getting pretty, not upset, but I guess more so embarrassed because he was like T-boning people. And so then when he flipped, the engine wouldn't restart, so we pulled him in the work area. And while everybody else was kind of working on the engine to get it running, I was having a heart-to-heart with him and telling him, dude, you need to calm down. You're out of control right now. So and then when the race was done, I made him go apologize to a couple of the kids he ran into. So, I want him. My parents always did really good of not putting any pressure on me and making sure I had fun. So, I want to be like that. Make sure he's having a good time and enjoying himself. But, I've gotten a lot of experience racing myself, so I feel like I can try and teach them things. So I want to do that, but it's tough when they're 5 years old, especially, I don't know if Owen's different than other 5-year-olds, but when you're talking to him and trying to explain things, he's nodding his head like he's listening and understanding, and but then he goes out there and it's like he's forgotten. But I have to remind myself he's only 5 years old, and it's really not. I don't want to make it too intense yet, ever really, but especially right now.
That doesn't change. I have college age students. They nod their head and they're still not listening. So you'll never change. That's for sure. Or he'll never change. That's just the nature of it. Kyle, as we work through this season and then pull the calendar into 2021, the opportunity with Hendrick Motorsports, one of the premier teams in NASCAR. And can you just describe a little bit the opportunity you have there? And then the opportunity to have your cake and eat it too, if you will, getting the opportunity and being able to run some sprint car races as well. That has to be really a dream scenario for Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I'm obviously extremely grateful for the opportunity, but really the second chance to get back into NASCAR and be with an awesome racing team. They're competing for a championship this weekend, so I'm stoked to get to go drive with their people and run their equipment, and and then still you'll be able to run some dirt stuff when I can. I'll have to definitely my focus and priorities are with the Cup team at Hendrick Motorsports, so I won't let anything interfere with that. But I'm just I wish it was 2021 already, because I'm ready to get going. I haven't been in a stock car in what feels like forever. So I'm ready to get back in and compete and be in some awesome equipment, and hopefully get to showcase what I really feel like I can do in NASCAR. So just excited to get going and working with Cliff Daniels and what right now is the whole 48 team, which will become the 5. So just really excited and thankful for Mr. H and Jeff Gordon and everybody who's had a hand in taking a chance on me to give me another opportunity.
And what an awesome opportunity it is. Now, I've been around Hendrick Motorsports a little in my life, obviously being married to Ray. I want to know how you talked Mr. H into some dirt races.
Well, when I first met, they kind of just asked if there's anything that's important to me. And I was like, well, I don't want it to sound like, my focus is on sprint cars, but I think, I love sprint car racing, so I'd like to still be able to run. And, that Jeff kind of said, I think times are different now where, it seems like they're more open to their drivers doing other things outside of just NASCAR. But like I said, as long as it doesn't interfere with what's going on there, because that's the main priority for all the drivers and everybody is, whatever Cup car they're in. So, I was, I don't know, I get not surprised that they are letting me, but just happy, because dirt racing is so important to me, and it's just a massive part of who I am as a person and a race car driver is, to be able to get back and run dirt races and be around that fan base. And I feel like it's just important for my brand really to still be racing dirt. So I think they understood that. And two, I think they understand that it does make me a better race car driver, getting to race that much. So, I'm also, just very thankful that they're continuing to let me do it.
Keeps you sharp, that's for sure. With the changes, when you were last in NASCAR, we had long 3-day weekends. You'd go in on Friday and everything else. Next year, I think there's 28 one-day shows. Will that impact some of the scheduling that you're able to do? And we don't have the sprint car schedules out, but will that have an impact on maybe opening up some opportunities for you to race some different events or a little bit more maybe with them just being one-day NASCAR shows?
Yeah, it's tough to know yet with not seeing any sprint car schedules.
Sure. Yeah.
The late model, the Lucas Oil late models and the World Outlaws, they've both released their schedules, so I've been able to kind of piece them together within the NASCAR rate or schedule and see which ones I could do. There's quite a bit on there, but sprint cars will kind of be my, as far as dirt racing goes, that'd be my favorite thing to run throughout the year. So once those come out, I'll be able to see what events I can do. I want to do the bigger ones, obviously, but it'd be, if we have a cup race on a Sunday, I don't think, I'd be able to run on a Saturday. So,
yeah.
And then I don't know if Paul's going to want to, come all the way out for just a 1-day event on a Friday or something like that. So it's still got to make sense for everybody. And yeah, I don't know what it'll look like until schedules start coming out. So hopefully with Charlotte happening this week, we'll get some more schedules coming out, and you start to have a better idea of what I can run next year.
Kyle, one of the things you've always done, or at least in the recent years, is gone to New Zealand during the winter. I'm assuming with COVID that's not an option, but I haven't really talked to anyone. Is anyone traveling overseas during the off season?
I don't know. I'm not. I'm not going to go this year. I've been racing a lot this year and kind of want to just hang out at home. And also, too, with COVID going on, I don't even really know if it's possible to go. I haven't heard of any drivers that are going to New Zealand or Australia. Like, I even think like a James McFadden, I don't even know if he can get back to Australia. So, I don't know. But I'm definitely not going, which I think Caitlin will be happy because we'll get to spend Christmas at home finally. I was going to say we just met with a Christmas light company this morning. So we're going to deck the house out and do it big. So it'll be good to spend Christmas at home.
The Larsons go all Griswold on us with Christmas with the lights. Oh, that's exciting. By the way, James McFadden, we had a conversation. He's on our show this weekend, and he is flying back, but he has to quarantine in a hotel once he gets there for 14 days.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
it's too much.
When you only go to New Zealand, like I would only go to New Zealand for 14 days and, to race. So then I'd have to quarantine for 14 before all that. I wouldn't be doing that, but that's home for him. So I mean, he's got to do that. But it's just tough. Hopefully we can find a cure for this virus and things will get back to normal, and racing and life in general will get back to what it used to be.
Hear, hear. That's for sure. Kyle, you had I'm assuming a very difficult decision with Kyle Larson Racing, with your sprint car team, your full-time team. Describe the process and ultimately the decision to not field a World of Outlaws sprint car team for the 2021 season.
Yeah, it was difficult. I've enjoyed being a team owner, with Justin Marks early on,
right.
and then these last few years, with myself. It's been a lot of fun, and then with everything that happened with my deal earlier this year, obviously I know it's going to be hard to get sponsorship, so it's not something I want to fund out of my own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I'm still heavily involved with racing myself with Paul Silva. So I felt like I became a team owner in the beginning because I wasn't racing a whole lot in the dirt or in sprint cars, and I wanted to still be in the sport and have an impact on the sport. So now I'm racing more than I was then, and it just wasn't going to make financial sense to continue it. And it was a tough decision. Like I said, I've become really, really close friends with Carson, and so to have to shut it down, it hurts me. But I'm also proud of everything that we've been able to accomplish. Shane Stewart and then Carson, and to give a young guy like Carson an opportunity, his first opportunity on the road full time with the Outlaws, is something I'm proud of. So it stinks, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be a part of the sport still. I'll still be racing with Paul Silva a bunch. So I look forward to that. But it stinks that we had to sell it.
Kyle, when you look at 2020, what are some of your takeaways? We know from your mistake you've had a lot of growth. You've been really out in the public about what you've done in that part of your life. But as a person, with the time you got to spend with your family, with going back to sprint car racing so much, what are some of your big takeaways from the year?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot. Obviously, with my mistake, and kind of, and definitely trying to grow throughout that process, but also trying to support my family and earn some money this year was important to me. But then also, building memories with them has been great, and it's something that I'll never forget. I'm sure the rest of my life, this year will be probably the wildest, biggest year for me. I would think got to be something. I can't imagine anything beating what this year has been like. From the highs and the lows, and just a crazy year. But I think a great, in a way you can look at it. I think it's probably the greatest thing that could have happened to me, because it's allowed me to grow and you just be a better person and get to spend time with my kids at a young age. I think that's important. You don't get to live these opportunities every year. So to get to spend time with them has been very good, and I think it's brought us all closer together. And I think we've all just had a blast, and I don't think we'll have another year like it. But it's been good, and I look forward to what the next handful of years bring.
So do we. Making memories. You've made a lot of sprint car memories, that's for sure. The memories you made with your family, you're right. As a guy whose kids are off in college now, those memories are stuff that you'll remember forever. And in complete honesty, the mistake in the NASCAR world, not only have you had a lot of conversations, there's a lot of us in our sport that have had a lot of conversations and learned a lot and grown a lot. So we there's been a lot that has come from that for all of us in the industry. So it's been a learning time for all of us. We appreciate the time with Wing Nation all year long. I know we'll talk to you down the road because you're still going to be out there winning sprint car races, and we'll dial you up and talk about wins and everything. We'll obviously talk to you in the NASCAR world and hopefully in a victory lane soon there as well. But thanks so much for the time. Wish you the best with the dozen or so races you have coming up the balance of the season, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you guys. I've definitely enjoyed talking to you all a lot this year, and like you said, hopefully we got many more wins, and we'll keep being able to come on the show.
There we go. That is Kyle Larson joining us here on the program. I don't know that there's any more we can unpack, because I think I think he just I love people who take bad situations, mistakes, missteps, unfortunate situations, however you got there, however he got to the day after Easter, and what he has done personally, what he's done with his family, what he's done from a societal perspective, what he's done professionally. I am telling you, I love a story like that where someone rallies back like that.
For sure. And if you kind of follow the timeline, like often in situations that are somewhat similar, you can see maybe they should have done this, maybe they should have done that. I feel like from an outsider's view, he has taken all the right steps, and he just seems so humble now and so appreciative. And like you said, he's learned. He's made us all learn. It's been.
We have talked so much in sprint car racing about his parents. With Kyle's reaction to this year, you can tell he has good parents.
Oh, and they are.
They are wonderful people, and I'm telling you, they are just salt of the earth people, and salt of the earth people raise salt of the earth people. And that's what they have. And Kyle's been on display this year, but I also think it's a ringing endorsement for his mom and dad, who are just the two of the kindest, most wonderful people on the planet.
Agree.
I think they're phenomenal. So really, really fun stuff. Early in the process, as you know, Plan B Sales is one of our partners. Okay. Brent Powell had a relationship with Kyle Larson for years and years. In fact, the sprint car that Kyle ran out at Yuma, Arizona, and that won all the races was a Plan B Sales car. And early in the process, after Kyle's misstep, had a conversation with Brent, and it was wholeheartedly, he made a mistake, I'm with him. And they have stayed that partnership. Plan B was on one of the all-star tours that they did through the Midwest. And Plan B is not a company that's going to be able to sponsor a cup car or a full-time tour. They're there. When I see a picture of them standing there in flow, the Plan B Sales on the logo on it. And I love that they are one of the companies, as was the Tarleton company, Tom Tarleton and that gang. There's a few people right there that hung with them. And I love that, and that's what I love about it. And I have a personal relationship with Plan B. I consult with them and I do stuff with them. And I just love the fact that they hung in there with Kyle Larson. And I know in talking with Brent and everybody over there, man, they are so pumped up about next year, just as Kyle is. So it gives you a chance to remind you that Plan B Sales was founded in 2010. They are a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor, as well as Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, and University of Racing lines with a huge inventory.
Yep, and they have partnerships with, like you said, Kyle, but also Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many other drivers. And right now, you can use promo code MRN for free shipping on orders over $20.
Yes, indeed. So planbsales.com. Check it out. We need to step away. When we come back, more Wing Nation.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are
Team Dryden.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
You know, Ford's racing roots extend all the way back to 1901, when Henry Ford won his first and only race, and then last October when Donnie Schatz brought a Ford Power World of Outlaws sprint car across the finish line, another win was added to the trophy case.
For anyone who loves sprint car racing, that was a banner day. It became clear the Blue Oval was back on dirt tracks, and in a big way, with a new FPS 410 engine built in America for a truly American form of racing. Ford is more committed than ever to providing grassroots racing with the contemporary power it craves.
We have a big schedule coming up this weekend. We had a medium schedule last week and a medium schedule this week, but the rains made last week's medium schedule pretty good this week, okay? Last call, World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, Friday and Saturday night. Brad Sweet, 46-point advantage over Logan, 68 over Donnie Schatz. Sweet needs to just tend to his own business, and he'll be in decent shape, which means for Brad Sweet, he'll probably win one, if not two, of the races, because him tending to business is usually taking care of business. Should he win the championship, he would be his second consecutive championship and only the sixth driver to achieve multiple championships. Wow. This starts to get an elite company when you think about this. Steve Kinzer, Sammy Swindell, Mark Kinzer, Donnie Schatz, Jason Myers are the only 5 multi-time World of Outlaw champions. Brad could join them. If Brad doesn't win it, Logan adds a first to his, and Donnie adds a 323rd champion. Well, something like that too. I mean, whatever Donnie is. 10. I think he's a 10. Or
exactly. 11th. I don't even know.
So Brad really joins that. So Dirt Vision going to have all the covers there. King of the West Series. They have the 37th annual Gary Patterson tribute race at Stockton. This is only the 4th King of the West Series race of the season. Spencer Basin, Kyle Hurst, and Dominic Scelzi have won. That's on Flow Racing. Have you been following Dominic Scelzi's adventures?
Yes.
D-Dog now, because some other guy said he was a broom holder at his father's company.
Yes.
And that started it, and it's gotten out of control.
And did you see the Halloween costumes?
Oh, dear God. No, I mean... that
family is...
There's some therapy needed. There's therapy needed in that family, but therapy needed for all of us after Halloween. But Dominic's, despite being just a broom holder at his dad's company, Dominic actually has a win in the King of the West Series this year. He's not a bad wheelman.
Not bad after all.
USCS has the Flip Flop 50 at Riverside International Speedway. Flow Racing going to have that. URC wraps up their championship with the Midge Miller Memorial High Bank Classic at Bridgeport. Friday night, 2,000 to win. Saturday night, 3,000 to win. Point battle, Adam Carberry by 1 point over Josh Weller. And the American Bank of Oklahoma ASCS Sooner Region wraps up their racing weekend season. Friday and Saturday night, Creek County Speedway in
Sapulpa,
Oklahoma. That's right. 2 points between Sean McClellan and Jeremy Campbell. McClellan is a 3-time regional with champion with 23 wins. Campbell is a rookie, but he's an 8-time champion at 81 Speedway. Racing Boys going to have the coverage. And again, our friends at ASCS, the national tour is wrapped up, but you can find out more information. Still a few races left out on the West Coast for them out in Arizona at ASCSracing.com. That's ASCSracing.com. Wing Nation apparel is available at wingnation.com. Just mash the apparel button and that'll take you right straight to the site. Great for Christmas gifts or Thanksgiving gifts or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating. You can celebrate it with Wing Nation apparel. Follow us along on Twitter and Facebook and our YouTube page as well. We have had a fun week talking with Gio Scelzi and Carson Macedo back on our Tuesday show, and with Kyle Larson today. We've got some young people in our sport that are really buttoned up and doing well.
Absolutely.
Fun week, that's for sure. James McFadden, speaking of fun, okay, we do all California this week, and then we go further west to Australia via Mooresville, North Carolina. James McFadden joins us this weekend. Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Ashley Stremme and I have that conversation. Again, thank you so much to our friend Kyle Larson for joining us here. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us this week on Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils, and by Hercules Tires.